Okay, 3M Prestige 70 Ultra, 8mm safety film. How to not get champagne bubbles. We are at a condo in Aventura, Florida. I've already cleaned the window, paper toweled the edges. And if you can see in the video, the one next to it's already done. So I'll give you a quick tutorial on how to not get champagne bubbles. Reverse roll. Don't wet it all the way to the top. That's going to be what we call the third hand, which is important. The slip solution I'm using is about double the amount of baby shampoo I normally would, mixed with about a cap of isopropyl alcohol. What the alcohol does is it thins out the water to help with the drying of the film. So, as you can see, I pre-cut these guys at my shop on the slitter. Get to the bottom here, you see it looks like it's drying out a little bit. It probably is. And they're still tight up there. So roll it down. The important part is not to have any dry spots first. And the second most important part is to never ever push water back into a part you've already squeegeed. So you get this wet. This is my no pull part. I like to move the bottom. Going to be lots of tips in here, so pay attention. See how the film didn't want to slide? You never, ever, ever slide safety film. The reason being is if you slide it, you're going to find a dry spot. That's why it's not sliding. So you actually want to take it back up off the glass and move it, and then pull it back down again. Because if it's stuck and you do like you want to do when you slide it, you'll find that spot that was dry because it's going to booger up the adhesive system. Now that being said, let's say you did that and you find this little spot after you squeegee. Oops, take the back of your knife. In this case I use the A+ because I got big hands. And you rub it with the plastic really hard, and a lot of times you can push the adhesive back down to make it acceptable. Anyhow, this is your no-go zone. You see this line? That's where the film's up onto the frame. You don't ever want to squeegee into that. The reason being is it's going to lift back up again. So you push the moisture out, and then it's going to pull back off the glass and make a dry spot. Stay away from dry spots. So that being said, we're going to tack it down, and you notice you never squeegee over the same spot 2 times. And especially to push this moisture that way is a champagne bubble. So you always squeegee onto itself. You see that? Lots of soap, a little bit of alcohol, no champagne bubbles. This is the hard part. Big, strong hands. Just trim it. And what you can't see that I'm doing is the way I'm holding the knife. Is I'm holding the knife on an angle like this. So if this is my gasket, my knife is on an angle this way, going down. So it actually leaves a very minute edge, just like you're installing regular film. Same thing here. Knife on an angle, see if you can see it. I'm holding it, guiding it all the way down. Boom. So now your no-go zone, just like you saw down here, that line is now laying down along the glass. Now you can squeegee it, but it's the same thing. You never squeegee to move this water back into a section that you've already squeegeed. Very important. So everything that you squeegee has to go from wet to dry. I'm sorry, from dry to wet, and not the other way around. Also, a good amount of pressure. Can't be wimpy when you're doing this stuff. And you also notice I don't wear a pouch. I've been doing this for 35 years. I quit wearing pouches 10 years ago. I just like to put stuff on my bench here. Just easier for me than wearing that big old Arnold Schwarzenegger Predator pouch a lot of you guys wear. Carry every tool in the freaking frying pan in there. I can't do that. So anyhow, all nice and wet. Still, the no-go zone, which is this line, goes to here. Here it's already laying down because I've trimmed it. So now I'm going to finish trimming this. All the way down. Now my no-go line is gone. You can see that. Over here we got a little bit of, didn't quite knit the bottom, but that's okay. Trim that off. So now back to the squeegee part. A little bit of moisture. And remember, never from here to there. It has to stay to where you're pushing it from dry to wet. Never from wet to dry. You see this? Are you squeegeeing hard enough? Let's check. Barely any moisture in front of the squeegee. Over here, our no-go zone. Let's lay it down, turn it into a go zone. And none of these strokes are forcing water back into a section that I've already squeegeed. Same thing. Everything has to overlap itself, but never force moisture back into a dry spot. And there you have Prestige Ultra 800 with 0 champagne bubbles. Paper towel the edges. And this job, this isn't done. It's going to get a IPP attachment when I'm done. It's going to be Pentagon's White Elite around the edges to anchor it in. But there you have it. No champagne bubbles on 8mm. Spray bottle, old school, no big sprayer. About double the amount of soap you normally use. About a cap of isopropyl alcohol. Make sure everything's wet, very wet. Never squeegee back into a dry spot, always from dry to wet. And never squeegee into your no-go zone, which is the film laying up on top of the frame. Because as soon as you do, it's going to come back. A, it'll pull dirt sometimes, contaminate your job. B, it's going to make a dry spot. You don't want dry spots. Dry spots are bad. And another most important thing is, if at all possible, don't do this while the sun is hitting the window. Makes the glass hot, then you get the steam marks behind there. Steam marks are dry spots. Then you got to pull it back off the glass, re-wet it, and then re-squeegee it, and it'll come out decent. It will take it longer. Customers see the steam marks. Sometimes they freak out. Sometimes they don't freak out. Sometimes you can convince them they're going to go away. Other times you're not going to get paid till they do go away. So if you can avoid that at all costs, do these while the sun is not hitting the window. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed it. Good luck with your 8mm installs with no champagne bubbles. Have a great day. We'll show you the edges real quick. That's a hand cut 8mm edge. You can see it. I didn't give you a close up, but there's no champagne bubble. That's a lot of dirt on the outside of the window. That's not me. So anyhow, this side was a factory edge net side. This side was the hand cut side, 8mm. And if you hold your knife, you know what? I'll show you real quick. When I was cutting this, I was holding my knife Where are you? There you are. I was actually putting my knife on an angle like this. Never like that, because then you're cutting into the gasket. Like this, I was using the film as a buffer between the frame and my knife as I was drawing it down. So you can see, where is it? Hang on, I'm lost. Oh, there you are. So you can see that's what I'm left with, right along the gasket. And remember, this is 8mm. This isn't thin window film. This is pretty tough stuff. Anyway, have a great day.